Bangers Friday preview in association with Lee Spirit. Is that Matty?
Yeah, I'm Colin.
Didn't time that very well. I think I started speaking before I hit the record button this week.
Oh, did you?
Too excited about it.
Well.
Quick bit.
You putting it as a podcast this week?
Aye. Last week put it out as a podcast, and we got some feedback. I mentioned this on the
what was it?
On the phone in last night, that when we're talking, volume's all right, and then the adverts come on. So if you listen to the podcast, the adverts come on dead loud. And so I changed the sound on the audio. That's the same thing. Changed the audio yesterday on the phone in before I published it to make everybody talk louder, so that it should be about the same volume as the adverts. Because I can't change the volume in adverts, you see. So hopefully nobody got surprised. Is
adverts meant to be louder? Is that no a thing?
I think they do it on your TV, don't they?
To catch your attention.
Aye.
Anyway, you phone Alan Brazil's breakfast show
speak to Talksport if you've got a complaint about it, or sign up for the ad-free version. So you get ad-free by becoming a member on YouTube, or by going on our Patreon, and you can take a £1.50 ad-free option. If you're spending that, you're as well going up to the £3 and getting all the subscriber stuff as well.
I don't know why anybody wouldn't do that.
Or the £3, for the sake of £1.50, yeah.
Aye.
Much better.
No adverts.
That's
a big selling point for me.
Aye. Well, it is, because I think when we put them out on through Talksport, I think there's one before the end, one in the middle, and obviously the one at the start.
And I was like, fuck's sake.
Aye, another fucking advert. We didn't you pay for it? Like, there's no point you paying for it, but
no, I'm not paying for this shit. No.
But for anybody who doesn't, go ahead and go on Patreon. Patreon's probably the best way to do it, because you get YouTube or the podcast with the adverts. So however you want to watch it or listen to it. Anyway, Colin, we've got a preview to do. How are you doing anyway? Like, did I ask you that at the start?
I don't know. I'm all right. It's nice and sunny outside. I'm babysitting tomorrow. Got my sister's, my nephew. He's only about 8 to 10 weeks old. I can't remember quite at the end of January. So get him draped in a Hibs scarf and that. See what I can do, because there's a bit of debate on the in-laws side.
Oh, no.
Got to try and just smuggle that in. My sister's like, just fucking didn't do anything. So I'm like, aye, but we need to like negotiate, like subconscious or something. You know what I mean?
Plant the seed.
Yeah.
Well, I've got that coming my way in about 4 weeks. My daughter's due, and her man's a Celtic fan. Aye. So it's a difficult one.
I think
you kind of have to respect it. I think if it's that tradition that Dad never.
Depends how keen he is.
Aye, there'll be an attempt anyway. Put it that way. You can't let it go without at least a token try. Yeah.
I was going to go down Port in the morning with the buggy and along the prom and that. And I'm kind bound to see somebody that I know, obviously, if coming from that way, and they'll be like, "You're fucking Santa." Like, no, but forgetting that you are going to be.
Aye, I know, not far away. 4 weeks. So
I'm miles away for that. But
aye,
I can maybe know.
It'll happen like that, Zoe. You'll get to be surprised one day. That's what happened. Anyway, right. You see that all right? If I put it up on the screen?
Aye, it's fine.
Good. Right, Hibs v Dundee. So I don't think we're in for many surprises with the teams, Colin. I had a quick look. I think there's only one difference between yours and mine. So go and give me a sort of rundown of your logic here.
So same back, well, I was going to say back four, but Smith and goals with the back three, Miller, Bashir, Iredale, Cadden and Abita in the wide spaces with Triantis and Levitt in the middle, Hoyle in front of them, and Boyle and Bowie up front. I kept Abita in. I did think about putting Nicky Cadden in because he was on the bench last week. Didn't come on, obviously. But I thought, you know what, after he's, like I'm getting told that was a wonder ball he done last week, why would you get dropped after playing such a ball of the season like that? So I think you've got to keep him in. They're probably beat. You know what? I don't know much about Dundee, but we've no beat them this season.
No, we haven't.
We got beat twice. No, we drew with them. They got late equaliser at Easter Road. That was O'Hara's mistake, wasn't it? That one when we were chucking mistakes in every week. So I think we probably need that a wee bit of solidity. That I'm not saying Nicky Cadden does a bring, but Albita brings more off. So I'm going to leave him in, and then we can always bring Cadden on half an hour at the end or something, get his minutes up, and maybe if we need a goal, then we've got that extra attacking edge there. Kept Hoylett in because I think he's been doing quite well. He can break, like we've said before. He sort of makes more chances or has a better knack of breaking a defence down, I think, than Campbell in that zone 14 area that he plays in.
Zone 14.
Sorry for anybody that doesn't understand that. I've only just discovered that term today. I think it's a lot of shite, so I'm just going to keep saying it now. But I brought Bowie in for Kukurevich. There's a bit more legs in that.
He's got the same number of legs as Kukurevich.
I know, but I just think they move faster.
Fair enough. To be fair, was more or less on the same line. I kept Kukurevich in. Just I thought he did well at Ibrox. I think there is an argument to be made that he, along with other players that are coming back for injuries and that need games to get up to form, he's not really had a decent run at this season. But we have seen with like Levitt is like one particular example that when he gets on the team, he's been good. So Kukurevich, I didn't mind him starting, and I think we stick with winning team. I suspect that's what Gray will do. Although Gray's quite good at chucking in a wee surprise here and there. Like you'll have, and I like this. Like the sort of the core of the team pretty much stays the same, and it'll be one or two changes that he'll make.
He doesn't go wholesale. Aye, absolutely. And you might find Nicky Cadden comes in for a beer.
And it's one of the things that we've been talking about in the phone-in that because of that, it means like the players come in and it's almost seamless. It's not like you've got 3 or 4 changes where it affects the whole team. One slots in for the person that they're replacing. You didn't really notice much difference.
Yeah.
I didn't think he put Cadden straight in.
Nah, well, he never even brought him on last week. You know, like I'm saying, never like as if I was desperate for it. I think it was the right decision. Not obviously we won the game, so I think this will be the week he comes off the bench. Gave him the extra week.
Aye, I think so as well. Right, I'll take that off the screen and we'll catch up and see what folk are saying on YouTube before I'll go to bring up a couple of other teams that have been sent in, because we do get teams sent in. I mentioned this on the phone in last night, and if you want to get your team included, it's longbangers@gmail.com. So Sandy said, afternoon lads, going to be a great Sunday, I think. Stevie said, afternoon all, sun blaring, tunes on, drinks flowing, Hibs unbeaten in 16, life is good. Never knew a beater had a right foot until last week. De Bruyne class through ball.
Yeah.
Peter says, afternoon guys, go with Collins' team. Now, if you're looking at the comments and you see Peter's got a wee green badge, wee orange badge next to his name, that's because he's a YouTube member, so you can get that. Peter will watch this in the adverts all the way through. So nobody's watching live. I think everybody gets it in the adverts if you watch it live, but you never know. And Steve says Campbell instead of Hoylett for me. And I wouldn't be against that change either. So we've got teams from Callum Trotter and from Sandy. So I'll get them up just now and we can have a quick run through there. I've not had a good look at them already, Colin, so this will be a wee surprise for both of us. So Sandy's gone for Smith and goals, Miller, Bashiri and Iredale, Cadden, Chiantis, Levitt, Rabita, Hoylett, Boyle and Bowie. So I think that's exactly the same as your team. And where are we? Callum's team. Oof, there we go. Smith, Miller, Bashiri, Iredale, Chris Cadden, Chiantis, Levitt, Rabita, Josh Campbell, Boyle and Bowie. So swapping Hoylett for Campbell. Again, I think that's the team's going to be pretty much what we've said there between us. Like between us all, we'll have it right. I think I'd be surprised.
Nobody's picked Nicky Cadden there, eh? Nobody.
Nah.
Aye, none of the 4 that we've put on the screen.
And no O'Hora and Ekpateta are not really coming into folks' thinking as well.
Look at the defensive unit though. You know, like you've got Miller getting forward and doing all that stuff, but Iredale and Bashiri are solid at the back. You know, they're the 2 the sort of leaders of the team for the back there, aren't they?
Yeah. And it's a strong team, and because they're playing together week in, week out now, you have that sort of understanding. I think we're seeing that more and more as well. You get the team spirit that we've been talking about the last few weeks, but just in practical terms, you get a better handle on where the player next to you is going to be, and how they like the ball into their feet or to run onto, like all these sort of things. Okay, form guide, Colin. we're sitting still at the top of that.
Well, I was going to say, like, are we not sitting at the top of this? If the season had started in November, kind of chat, we'd be top of the league.
Aye.
Like that's the situation. Celtic down to fourth.
Wonder how far back
When
you
does
can
that
have.
happen?
I know it's going to change that to 10 matches from.
Is that the max you can do? Aye, we'll still be top.
Aye, we're still top.
Yeah. Look at Rangers. Like, that's amazing.
Aye.
Like, imagine if they've got 3 losses in there and they're still second. But I mean, we're since we drew that game at Aberdeen, like when we were talking about relegation form, maybe talking about championship form, like winning the title form, because that's what we're on.
It's crazy, eh?
Mm.
I think probably I'll change it back to the 6 matches because you get the. You can look at 4. The last 6 matches, which is consistent with what we've done all season. Slightly better story for Dundee there. They kind of lose some of the losses that they had at the start of that run in the 10 game one. Things have been looking a wee bit better for them the last few weeks. 2 wins, a draw, and a
They
defeat in
score a
there.
lot of goals, eh? They
The 2.
score a lot of goals. I mean, I watched that. I didn't watch all of the Rangers Dundee game, but I watched. When we Hibs were at home that day, it was a tea time game. I watched it later. I seen most of it. And they should have probably done better in that game. Like Murray hit the post just before Rangers went up and scored the winner. 4-3 and then Dundee 4-2. Aye, that was a Dundee night. Sorry. They do score a lot of goals, so that is. But we don't let many in, so we'll see how it go. Simon Murray's a funny one. He's like a real. He just works so hard that chances he just kind of creates his own chances and luck because of how hard he works. Runs hard, runs fast, just like gets in areas.
He's top
He's a
scorer in
dangerous
the
player.
league, isn't he? This season, I'm sure they were talking about it on the terrace.
Yeah, is he? Aye, I don't. I was at the terrace sometimes on the Monday, but he's scoring a lot of goals. So like he can't, and that's not just a one off. Like he done that last season, and he done it when he was with us for till Christmas, till Lenny got rid of him. So there's he's a proven scorer at this level. Like I know I'm not saying he's an international, but like he must have been sitting going, "How's that laddie get picked ahead of me?" Oh, that's done me the reb. And somebody should say it's because you've not got Irish blood, eh?
Aye.
But that's the reason why. I think. Can you hear my dog barking?
Ah, you're right.
She's a nippy bastard, like. Aye, he's a dangerous player. We need to make sure he's out the game, and I'm not sure what side he kind of plays on because I think if he's against Iredale, I'm quite comfortable. If he goes and attacks Miller, though, I'm not sure.
Aye, well, his goal at Easter Road came on Iredale's side. But
Yeah,
obviously it was a
that
horror
was
that was playing there,
yeah,
aye. So, but it was on that side of the box. They concede a lot. I'm just looking there.
yeah,
It's actually mental when you look at the against column. There, you've got Dundee with 12, Rangers with 13 against, and they're in there with like St Mirren with 13 and Kilmarnock with 12. You sort of just presume that Rangers and Celtic will have like really low goals against, but Celtic up there with 9. We've done 4. So we're not quite the top scorers in that period, but by far I would say the best defence.
yeah.
I think if we this is like a Captain Obvious type statement, but if we stop Dundee scoring, we'll win the game because I can't see us no scoring against that defence. Like
Yeah,
famous last words, Ken, touch wood,
I
etc.
know. You know what I'm a wee bit worried about is more the chat about this being the chance to have a big best run since the famous five, or in fact, I
Aye,
read ever in 150 years, somewhere, and I don't know if that's true or not, but it's almost like, and I'm not saying it's typical Hib stuff, but you just think when you start talking about it a bit more, and when it's a bit more in the focus, and I think David Gray says, well, if it adds 1% to a player, then it's worth talking about, and I
yeah,
agree with that. But does it also does it take any percentages off anybody as well? That's more the
aye. It's an interesting one because I think it's the sort of thing that should motivate the players. I think
yeah,
also the other thing to consider is the last game that we had against Dundee and how that impacts this one as well, because there'll be, I think, a few players there with a point to prove.
yeah.
Um,
I'm going
I
to go
beat up.
mobile on this, right?
All right, are
I'm
you?
here. I'm going to, this Doug's getting on my nerves, I'm going to
All
deliver it.
right.
But
So
it should be fine.
will I give it the Lloyd Grossman? Was it who would live in a house like this?
But I've
As
got
we're
the blur
going.
on. I've got the blur on, so you can't see the footage.
You can. That's what you think. We make about. There's a guy standing with a whip, and it's. Right, while you're letting the dog out, we'll go to the comments. Kieran, he's got Smith, Nicky, Cadden, Ardale, Rocky, Miller, Cadden, Levitt, Chantis, Mana, Boyle, and Bowie. Be interesting to see Mana come in. I don't know if he'll be due to start a game soon or whether he will start a game at all between now and the end of the season. I'm not against that as well. I thought he looked all right when he came on last time.
This is about the time of the year when we go, we'll just play him in the bottom 6 games soon, it doesn't matter. That's what we normally say.
I know, but every game's important now.
It's funny going into this last game without having to like scrape a point away to some shite to get in the top 6.
That's it, worrying about fucking like a
There
last
is
minute
teams
goal
in that
winning against you.
situation. There is teams in that situation, but no, that's this year.
Be shite to be in that situation, eh?
Yeah.
Stevenson Miller, part of the 3 works well. Never thought we'd be able to play Miller and Cadden, but it's working well. Gives us real strength in defending the right side. And can we ask SFA to replay the first 3 months?
No.
Green Tea says goes without saying we have to keep Simon Murray quiet. Kieran says we're due Dundee a do-in for that game up at Dens Park, 4-1 Hibs. Callum said only 4 goals conceded in the last 6, including Old Firm. Rocky will be all over Murray like a rash. Sandy said it's a strength off our bench. It's also working for us. Good squad for sure. Got to keep majority together. Get signing. Double Dangerous said would be harsh to drop a beater after a couple of good games. I'd stick with Hoylett for this game. He's coming in a bit of form now. Ian said I see your colour coordinating again. Again, accidental.
I meant to say it when we joined it. So you've got the stripes. I've just got a nice clean crisp white one.
Aye, we've not been planning that at all. Mine was literally the first thing to hand this morning when I got up, to be fair. I had no meetings at work, so I was like, oh, fuck it, just sit and be comfortable all day.
I tell you, I joined a call at work about a year ago where a boy had sit in my Ranger strip on. Didn't think him, like, I was like, but that was the first thing I said to him.
Would you wear that to your work?
Well, he's at his work.
Aye.
It's just in the house.
JMC said, hope the run continues, but those lucky pants are starting to itch. 3-0 Hibs. Sandy said the thing that stopped Simon Murray signing last summer is he's a Dundee fan. A big threat, but Rocky can't and will deal with it. I think that's the key matchup in the game then, Rocky against Murray, Colin.
Is Murray no more intelligent than just to run into Rocky, though? Like, he's going to pick up the wider areas, which is why I was saying he's not going to go bang down the middle against the big boy, is he? Like, he's got to try and pick gaps in between them or out wide and cut in. So I think Rocky will be man marking him. Rocky covers the middle of the defence, doesn't he? Zone 2 or whatever it is.
Rocky's man marks everybody. That's how good he is.
I know. But that's what I mean, though. It's like he's not just got to be like that, is it? Murray's got to be clever. He's not fucking stupid. Like,
no,
who's their best defender? Like, what I'll do is I'll stand against him. It's not going to do
that. I hope Murray's working off his scraps. So hope it's one of those sort of games like we did against Rangers, like we did against St Johnstone. That we keep them at arm's length and just have that control over the game, where even if we've not got all the ball, that we're in control of what's happening, and we kind of restrict Dundee to playing the game in areas where they can't hurt us. Stevie says Collins old school plain white t-shirt, perfect for all occasions.
Yep. Thanks.
No paintballing. So not quite all occasions. I wouldn't go paintballing my white t-shirt.
The colour of the paint.
Well, it's going to be white, is it?
Well, I know. Like, everybody wears colours, so white paint would be ideal.
All right, fine.
I don't know. I've never been paintballing, just no matter.
Have you not?
Nah.
I've only done. I said that like it was dead surprising. Like fucking, I've been once.
Go every week.
Aye, done it once years ago. It was a good laugh. Anyway, right, score prediction.
I'm a wee bit worried that we might fucking make an arse of it, but I've not got to go with that. I'm going to go with the positive thoughts, and I'm going to say 3-0.
3-0, right. So just before I give a score prediction, I'll get your thoughts on this. It's a really good question for Kieran. Thoughts on the last game before the split not being played at the same time? Thought the point in the split was to have that last day excitement.
No, is that the point of the split? The last day excitement is it not to get we get 38 games? That's
but you for all happening at the same time. Because you have it on the last day of the season, like the bottom 6 all play the same day, and the top 6 play the same. It's so you can't. Nobody's going in the game.
Manufacture a result.
Aye. Whereas let's play for a draw or whatever.
I know, but if we not had this argument before, did it not actually impact us one year? Where we were playing on the the Saturday or the Sunday and somebody else. But it didn't actually matter in the end. Prior to the game, it could have though. I get the point. I get the point. Kieran's asking or making, but I don't think. I think that's normally for like into a group stage, like a World Cup or a Euros or a Champions League or whatever, or last day of a season. This isn't it. This is just a way to divvy the league up so that you didn't play as many games as you didn't play 40 odd games.
But it does have an impact because once you're.
It could have for like, although Hearts and that are all playing them on, they're the teams that are all in the mix.
Aye.
But then that's maybe luck more than because Aberdeen Rangers is Sunday. Well, it's on TV, but it's also because they were playing last night.
Yeah.
And well, it's not going to make a difference to either us on Sunday. So it actually doesn't make any difference tomorrow. Like, because the teams that are on the battle, the four of them or three of them,
Aye.
There's three of them that can make the top six tomorrow, eh?
Or bottom six.
Aye. Well, there's three of them for one place, basically. Yeah.
Aye.
So, but I mean, you shouldn't. This comes back to the should you celebrate being in the top six argument, and really the top six is just there to make some more cash and not to play 44 games and play 38 instead. It's not there for any other reason. It's not there for any. Do you remember when it came out? Did they not have like, I think it was the radio that done it, but like maybe Gordon Smith when he was on the radio done a trophy, he like made up some kind of trophy for the bottom six.
Did they?
I don't know if they gave it to anybody, but it was like they definitely spoke about it, like the bottom six cup sort of thing, or something like that. But
check, there's an argument today like that. Almost like you have like a championship group and like a group A and a group B is how it ends up, and then because you could reset the points like for the bottom six ones. How fucked off would you be if you end up if you finished if you were seventh and you ended up getting relegated because of the fucking reset the points? Maybe no.
But well, the thing is with that, I mean, you look at the playoffs in England, and sixth place they get a trophy for finishing third, or for winning the playoffs? Sorry, not for finishing third, for finishing sixth.
Aye,
if they win that wee cup at the end, and third place, second place get nothing other than promoted. So every league's got the same wee fucking daft thing, but I don't know. I think the top six it makes all this excitement in the middle of we have a few games to go. But you know what? The league's normally finished by now, eh? Like it is.
Aye.
Like the relegation's what's to play for. Like the league, Celtic will win next week or something. Aye, there's a bit of battle for third. But whoever finishes sixth is just making up the numbers.
Aye, this season there. I think whoever finishes sixth is going to finish much higher than that. But for fifth to third, that's tight.
Aye.
A lot of football still will be played. Right, anyway, we'll wrap up. What did you say the score was going to be?
3-0. I was going to say, what do you think about the top six then?
My instinct was you should all play at the same time. So you're not looking at... Because it's like if you're Motherwell, for example, Motherwell can only get the top six if... it doesn't matter because they're playing at the same time as St Mirren. But if St Mirren win and Motherwell win, Motherwell need to beat Hearts by about 10 goals, I'm sure I saw.
Yeah.
So if Motherwell
do that anyway though, just to make sure.
I can. But if Motherwell saw St Mirren were 4-0 up, they've got nothing else to play for. They could chuck a couple of laddies on or whatever.
No.
If they can, or if that game had already been played, but they're playing at the same time, so it's fucking immaterial.
Yeah, it's immaterial tomorrow. But I get the point. I'm just not sure if it matters that much.
Aye. But then you can argue that way every game, because like every week you're looking at the permutations to see which one's most beneficial for you. So,
it's the end of the season that matters. Like on the last day of the season, I think you need to make sure it happens then. But
all right. Anyway, right, we'll wrap up. I'm going to say it's going to be 3-0 to the good guys.
Same here.
Aye, I think so. I think we're going to score, and I think our defence has been good again. Touch wood, but the run will continue for another week. I fancy Rangers to beat Aberdeen as well, and we'll go into the split in a really good position.
Fingers crossed.
Aye. All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Don't forget to subscribe, whether that's on YouTube for free or join up as a member, or go ahead and get to Patreon.
It's a free trial.
There's a free trial on Patreon. Of course, we never mentioned that. You get 7 days free. You get. It's not just that you get the stuff that comes out in that 7 days. You can listen to anything that's on there as well. So go and check it out. Anyway, right. That's enough of the sales pitch.